Welcome to SF Commercial Property Conversations with Bruce Bean, where Bay Area investments meet expert insights. Get ready to unlock the strategies of commercial real estate success.
Today we have Nick Stromwall with us, and Nick originated from the wonderful world of Wisconsin and moved into Minneapolis. So Nick, it's great to have you. You are now building a large portfolio of apartment units. So it's going to be great to hear your kind of origin story of how you got to where you are.
Yeah, excited to share it. I left out quite a bit of the journey, so it's gonna be fun to unpack it. So thanks for having me on the show. Excited to be here.
Great. So you started out basically outside of Milwaukee and grew up there, and then you went to school in Minneapolis, right?
Right. Yep, at the University of Minnesota. And yeah, became a Golden Gopher and lived for a season in your neck of the woods in California. Came back after kind of dating my wife long distance to be back with her.
Yeah. So how did you end up with the current operation you're working with?
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting story. So I was actually a college pastor, a college minister for over 15 years. We just did leadership development with university students around the Twin Cities. We mentored students and did premarital education with them. They would go on these summer trips overseas and locally, and they'd kind of send us letters looking for funding. My wife and I, we wanted to be generous, so we tried a lot of different side hustles, even charging those electric scooters downtown Minneapolis at night. I would go
Wow.
around with my pickup truck, picking them up, and got up to 20 scooters a night, which equated to $100 and about 4 hours of my time every day. So you kind of learn pretty quickly, like you're trading your time for money, and we wanted to really learn how to invest passively. I have some family members who are financial advisors, so I was really taught early on how to save, how to utilize compounding interest. But also there was a desire to be entrepreneurial. So everywhere we looked, kept saying real estate, real estate, real estate. So you went down the path of reading books, bigger pockets, wanted to get that first investment property. So we found a duplex right across the street from our home in South Minneapolis. We went to about 9 banks. They all said no. The 10th bank said yes. We did a reverse mortgage on the best thing we owned at the time, which was our Honda CRV. So we got in for a 6 bedroom, three up, three down, about 2,000 square feet for about $140,000. This was in 2011.
Nice.
And we earned $600 a month passive income on top of all the expenses and some reserves. Our business partner also earned $600 a month. We figured out 50% of the deal is better than no deal at all. So I handled all the operations. He handled all maintenance. We had a really good partnership. We ran that property for 10 years.
Wow.
In general, 9 years, had slam dunk tenants, just some of the students we mentored and people connected to our local church. So it was a good experience overall, and really taught us how being faithful with a little can really produce a lot. We sold that property for $340,000 after just 10 years. And we picked up three or four more duplexes in the time. But we really kind of got into real estate because we wanted to be generous. We wanted to learn how to build that passive income. We started having kids. And then I was running around, cutting grass, fixing holes, dealing with tenants, while also trying to be a present husband and father. It was pretty challenging. So we then got into commercial real estate after really trying to figure out what does it truly mean to be passive. I thought what I was doing was passive. It was very, very active.
Yeah. So then did you start hiring property managers? What happened after that?
So I actually got a early inheritance from my grandmother, $20,000, and I decided to hire a coach, join a community, and really learn commercial real estate. So I took an underwriting course, really kind of learned the ins and outs of multifamily commercial real estate, and quickly learned either you get really good at finding the deal, you find those relationships on market or off market, or you get good at raising capital. I tried out both. I learned how to manage, 50 unit apartments, subcontractors, flips, that whole process. But I figured out I really enjoyed the education component of teaching people what is this alternative asset, what is multifamily investing, and how you can really amplify your return. I call it the triple win. You get cash flow, appreciation, and tax savings. Why hit singles if you can hit doubles or triples?
Yeah. So the triple, that is good. All right. So now but you now work for Rise 48.
Yeah. So I
Is
started
there,
a company. I started a company, Oak and Vine Capital, partnered with several operators. One of those operators was Rise 48. Did 5 deals with them, and then just kind of fell in love with the team and the vision. They've scaled from one employee about 7 years ago to now over 300 W-2 employees. They've managed 60 acquisitions, over 2.4 billion in transaction volume, and over 10,000 units managed now. So it's been really fun to be a part of a larger team focusing really on multifamily in 3 markets: Dallas, Phoenix, where the home office is, in Scottsdale, and then around Charlotte, the Carolinas.
yeah. So they have been very successful, it sounds like.
Yeah, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Just value add, usually a 100 to 300 unit multifamily, 1980s and above vintage. We're typically putting in anywhere from 15,000 to 25,000 per unit. We've got over 4,000 limited partners across those roughly 60 projects. And, we've kind of found the business model of doing, 3 to 5 year holds and forcing the NOI growth through just improvements of the properties and just, operationally, if running them efficiently.
Yeah. No, and bringing them kind of up to speed, and then in 5 years, it sounds like you sell and flip them into or t exchange them into another property.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been pretty successful in 1031ing. A lot of the investors like to take advantage of that. We've also developed some pretty strategic partnerships with over 100 different capital partners and fund managers to really bring in their networks to help raise the equity for a lot of the deals. And we're giving really favorable terms to those fund managers, especially those that can bring in larger check sizes. So
Yeah.
my role at the company is I'm the vice president of innovation and efficiency, and I really love technology and specifically how to use technology to serve our team and to serve our investors. And we're after that around 2x equity multiple in that 3 to 5 years. That's kind of our minimum threshold. But more than kind of the financial return, we're also hiring community managers to build communities inside of these apartment complexes so that the community managers know the people. I've visited several of the properties, and as I'm walking around, learning about the different people there and the projects, it's been really fun to see the community managers getting to know the 2 and 3 and 4 year olds, as well as the grandmothers and grandfathers that live on the site of these properties. So we put in, quite a bit of work into monthly programs, back to school drives, invite the fire truck, and all these different things to really develop that community so that people know their neighbors and they want to stay there and stay active. And when you build communities, that actually helps on the profitability too, because there's not as much turnover.
So what other innovations, I'm curious, are you using Yardi? What software do you use for managing your properties?
We have several different packages across the 60 projects, but when a company's gone from one employee to over 300, to just leave a lot of opportunity to innovate. And there's simple things like when you have a meeting, have a clear objective and someone taking notes. And even better, why not have an AI bot take the notes for you to be able to clearly give delegations and next steps. There's so much you can do with AI right now, from helping preemptively develop draft answers to incoming questions, whether that's from tenants or from investors. You can get to 60, 70, 80% of the way there by building a database of your different deals, linking it to your CRM, having access to your financial software to really be able to help serve those investors to get them answers more quickly. There's a lot you can do with underwriting. We look at a lot of deals, and there's a lot of power when it comes to AI for how you can do that. But also with supplies and with finances and with taxes. I think we sent out over 12,000 K1s by the end of
Wow.
February. So wherever you can save time, wherever you can create efficiency, that unlocks your team then to be able to have more creative time to tackle some of those higher level things that take a lot of creativity. AI is awesome for repetitive tasks. It's not quite there yet when it comes to vision, when it comes to creativity. So there's a lot of opportunity to use AI within any size company.
So, what would you say was one of the most fun and innovative ways that you've brought your apartment communities together?
Okay, so over Easter, we had an egg hunt not only for the kids, but we also had an egg hunt for the adults,
Oh,
and it was
nice.
fun. It was fun because, like, why make something that's more for children? Why not bring the adults into it too? So
Yeah.
that's been a lot of fun. Movies while sitting in the pool is always a hit,
Oh,
and
wow.
then we love doing like back to school backpack drives where we can raise funds to help produce these backpacks with school supplies and then give them to our tenants. So there's just a lot of different creative ways to build communities. Anytime you incorporate food, that's always a great way to get people around.
So, I'm curious, where do you raise the funds for the backpacks?
Oh, there's actually um, a, a Rise Communities nonprofit arm to our company that we fund those initiatives through.
Oh, cool. So, is
Yeah.
there a reason for Rise 48? Does the 48 mean anything?
Yeah, 48th state, Arizona. That's where we got our base.
Ah,
So
I see.
we kind of pivoted to that name pretty quickly after starting. I've been with the company since January, so I'm on the newer side. But Zach started the company about 7 years ago.
And you still have some units of your own aside from Rise?
Yeah, yeah. Before joining Rise, I was doing single family, multifamily, oil and gas, and energy investing,
Ah,
industrial triple net leases, private credit, and private lending. So I kind of had a pretty diverse background from different locations and different asset classes. And for me, with my fund manager hat on, raising capital through private investors, I'm really looking for those investors that not only deliver strong financial returns, but also have a heart to serve. You can sit down with a meal with someone, and pretty quickly, a couple minutes into the conversation, you see how a potential partner treats the waiter or the waitress, and you can kind of quickly determine, hey, is this the type of person I want to do business with? So I have roughly 50 different companies that had sent me deal opportunities that I was able to evaluate and determine, is this something that I'd want to bring my investor base into?
oh, so you actually brought your investor base into Rise 48.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's sort of a partnership collaboration approach.
yeah, yeah,
No, that's fun. That's great.
yeah.
So what is Rise going to head to become a REIT? What do you think the future is going to bring here?
We love multifamily. I think we're going to keep acquiring deals. The market has been saturated in Phoenix. This is going to be the first quarter where concessions are wearing off, and we're going to start to see some organic rent growth. So we're excited about that. So we're always looking for deals in the Phoenix area. We still think that's a great market based on job growth and the amount of people coming to Phoenix. We believe the same thing about Dallas and Charlotte. We do think there's strong growth in the Florida market, and so far we just haven't found the right deal that would hit that minimum threshold. I think we have Rise 48 Equity, which is our equity division. We have Rise 48 Communities, which is our property management division. And we've actually started taking on property management for outside of the units that we own. There's been a
Oh,
lot of banks and lenders that have come to us that have asked us to take on some of their property management. So we're beginning to do that. We've now have an HVAC company. We have Rise 48 Construction. So we have kind of four different business units that's really helping us grow and expand the company.
so you don't think you'll probably head into the REIT world anytime soon? It doesn't sound like.
I don't think so. I think we got our eyes open potentially for next year to do some ground up development, but we got our start in all of our processes, and what we've done is value add multifamily. So I think we're going to kind of stay with that. Some of our investors would be interested in more of a longer term hold type of situation. So we're exploring that right now.
So what's the sort of minimum investment you're looking at for people to come in?
Yeah, so we typically have done 506B syndication, so taking both accredited and non-accredited investors. Typically, it's a $50,000 minimum investment for a hold period of somewhere between 2 and 5 years. So we've done 60 deals now. 11 have gone full cycle, and we had some challenges with deals that we purchased between June of 21 and July of 22. That's when interest rates skyrocketed. I'm sure you're well aware from 48%. So
Right.
we've been battling hard to preserve investment dollars, and so far have been successful with that. So yeah, we're committed to preserving that investor capital, and all of us are fighting hard to do that.
So is there a way for someone, if they want to bail out early, can they get their money back?
In those types of situations, they're with us unless they find an investor to kind of take their spot. Until we do go full cycle. Upon that full cycle, many of our investors choose to keep their dollars with us by 1031ing into another property.
Right, right. So they'll move along and they don't want the capital gain right then. They'll keep moving forward. And that makes sense. So I
Yeah,
suspect it doesn't happen very often, but yeah, I mean that's always the glitch with somebody needs money now and they want to bail out, and how do they do that? So it sounds like
yeah.
you've got a system for that if that does happen.
Yeah, there are provisions. Typically, it's find an investor to take over your shares.
Yeah.
So that's typically what's happened. Yeah.
Yeah. So it all works out. Well, this is fascinating. So just out of curiosity, what's your favorite food or sandwich?
Okay, so there's a dish that my wife found called Palestinian chicken, and
Oh,
it is absolutely wonderful. Glazed chicken with chickpeas on top of a crusted homemade organic sourdough bread. So it's one of those meals where you eat, and whenever I have it, typically for a birthday or a special event, it's good when there's no talking at the table. We've got four kids, so it's usually a wild party. So when there's silence, that's good food. So we have a lot of friends in the neighborhood, and if there's ever a time to have some friends over and enjoy that meal, it's one of our favorites.
that sounds perfect. I'm going to have to look that one up. I could use some silent eating, and that sounds like it would work out well in that regard. That's fantastic. So, Nick, where can people get a hold of you?
Yeah, post very regularly on LinkedIn. So just look me up, Nick Stromwall, and I usually talk about how to win at work, how to win at home, and how to win at community, getting the triple win in life.
You're into triples. I love it. That's my favorite thing is the rule of three.
There
Always
you go.
for three. It's great. Well,
Yeah.
great having you on. I look forward to talking to you down the road. It sounds like you're expanding very quickly here, so it'll be interesting to see in 6 months where you are.
Well, thanks so much. Yeah, it's a great opportunity. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
That's a wrap on today's journey through the SF commercial real estate scene. Ready to share your story? Visit sfcommercialconversations.com/guest. Your insights could lead the next conversation.